I've taken a lot of street portraits over time. I've taken at least 5 million, and I want to talk about how to capture authentic expressions, organic expressions, if you will, from your subjects. Now, this can be a struggle when you're trying to take a photo of a stranger on the street, somebody who doesn't know you, them, and they may not be super confident about having their photo taken. This may be something that they don't tend to enjoy at all, and you're a first experience for them of a random person wanting to do so. I want to talk about some things that have been helpful for me in capturing authentic experiences. First off, introductions are very important.
Spoons? Spoons?
I think that the energy that you come to an introduction with is very important. I like to have kind, calm energy when I approach somebody. I found that almost nobody has a problem with kind, calm energy, no matter what their personality type might be. There are other types of energies that people, they're more abrasive to certain people than other people, but generally I've never met somebody who's like, man, I just don't like kind, calm people. You just can't trust them. So kind energy is useful, calm energy, focused energy, a sense of presence that can be helpful, an easygoing type of energy that will indicate to them that this interaction is going to be an easygoing one. You taking their photo is going to be an easygoing experience for them. A sort of knowing energy can help. Like, I know what I'm doing here. I'm not taking you down some scary path where I'm not going to be with you and holding your hand metaphorically, maybe not literally. But those things can be very helpful. Managing your energy, being intentional about your energy, very helpful. Now, another thing that can be helpful in introductions and all the way through is clarity of communication. But especially in the beginning, it has a unique twist because when you are introducing yourself to somebody, it helps to be very clear about what you're doing, who you are, why you're there. I'm just going to go around on my fingers over and over. What you're doing, why you're there, what you hope to accomplish, why you need their help with that thing, what you want from them, things like that. And if you set that up really well in the beginning, it will help them feel good about the interaction from the start. And we all know the way that you enter a room, the mindset that you enter a room with is the mindset that you will tend to operate in the room with.
Heaven can wait, we're only watching the sky.
Another thing is, I think it's helpful to be a director all the way through the interaction. Always be a director. What can happen is they might feel lost. If they feel like you don't know what you're doing here, they might go, okay, what's happening? And if they feel that way and you feel that way and they feel like you feel that way, that's a problem. Now, you might feel that way. You might be in an interaction going, I don't know where I'm going to put this person. I don't know what this photo is going to look like. This feels like new territory for me. I'm scared. But the way that you manage your expression about that is very important. If you can help them feel like you are going to guide them through, you're going to guide you and them through this whole thing. We're going to come out to the other side. Okay, good. Now, it may sound like I'm describing some sort of, emergency experience, like we're leading somebody out of a burning house. But I think that's actually a useful analogy because to the person, they don't know exactly what this is going to be like. And to some people, having their portrait taken is a bit of a weird journey. And even if it's a mild, problem for them, even if it's something that they feel a little less confident about, even if they feel super confident about it, this approach is going to be very helpful for helping them have the best experience possible. And if they're having a good experience, they're going to produce a good set of expressions for you and for your photos. Now, when it comes to photo direction, what I mean by that is how you're directing how the photo is going to turn out and how you're directing them to accomplish that. We want to start with a background because that's a lot of times where the whole thing starts. Once you introduce yourself, you go, okay, where am I putting this person? Now, you may have something in mind already. That's always good. But if you don't, then I like to take a moment. I have this thing called the let me see pause. And what I'll do is I'll go, let me see.
Okay, where's your good background?
Let's see here. This way I'm letting them know I'm gonna try to see where to put you. We're gonna take a moment here, and that way they're still in the loop of what's going on. Because if you just say okay and then you start, might be a little strange for them. So you say, let me see, and all of these things will happen naturally, right? You'll naturally say, okay, let me look for background. You'll find your own way to do this. But when you can be intentional about it, kind of plan it beforehand, that always helps. So you say, let me see, look around, find a background, find the easiest choice, whatever. Start there. You can always go to something else. And then you go, okay, come with me. Let's go over here. I want to put you right here. Stand right there. Show them where to stand. Maybe stand there so that they know exactly where to stand, which direction to point. Show them. That can help, right? As opposed to telling them. Sometimes telling them is just fine. But if they get confused, if you can actually show them, physically put your body where you want them to be, that will help them go, oh, okay, I'm just going to do exactly what he did. Once you set them in their spot, you can say, okay, I want you to do whatever feels natural to you. This is just my approach. You could go about this any way you like. I say, do whatever feels natural to you, because I always want to open the door for a serendipitous occasion of whatever they would like to do. And some people, they'll look straight into your camera with bold face, no smile, and you end up with a sick shot. Some people smile. Some people do something, whatever. They'll show their tattoo or something, whatever. You'll get a lot of different things, and that is an authentic expression. So good place to start. Might as well start there, do that. Let them feel like they have some agency in what's going on here. And, take the photos, see where it leads. You can tell them to look on camera, look straight at you, just kind of see how that feels. Or you can tell them to look off camera. This is a great trick. Look off camera. Hey, go look at that bus over there. See that bus? Okay, now look straight at me. And as soon as they look at you, you take the picture. Because when they're doing that, there's a split second of natural expression that is not being, there's not a buildup of unease behind it because they're sitting there just staring at your camera. So that quick second is a good place to snap a photo. And so that's a helpful way to create a little moment of authenticity. Then what I would say in terms of how to get them to feel like they're connecting with you, like you guys are syncing, is to talk to them continually, right? Have a conversational dynamic happening. And the more kind of organic, flowing, conversational the things can feel, a lot of times that's very helpful, because that means that they're going to be feeling natural about things. You're going to be feeling natural about things. You guys are going to be connecting. And the more time that you spend with the person, talking with them about their life, talking with them about the things that they're up to. And this might just be shallow work stuff. This might be, oh, you like to paint. And you get, when they talk about that red, that velvet red that they love so much. They wake up in the morning and they just look at their velvet red paint and go, what are we going to do today? Brush.
Maybe there lives a happy little bush right along here.
You might get a little glimmer there of authenticity and, oh, I love that red. And that's a moment. So you're waiting for those moments. So you have the camera up to your eye, bring it down. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. You do that. Then through that engagement, you can end up with more and more authentic expressions from the person. But the connection between you and them is a key there. Now, another way that you can create authentic expressions is if they're doing something. If you have, if they're already doing some sort of activity, you're just hopping in. Hey, keep doing your activity. Great, easy mode, whatever. You could come up with all sorts of creative ways to have them do something where they're actually doing something. They're not just looking at you and it's not just a portrait. Think creatively about that, but ultimately it's the flow of the dynamic of the interaction that's going to determine how many natural expressions you will get. And the more you sync with them, the more time you spend with them, the better, the less guarded they become. Now, something to remember, a couple of things to remember, is you won't win every photo. Sometimes people are just going to be stale. Sometimes they're not going to, their expression might just, there might be too much to get through to get to a really natural expression. Sometimes you might only have a few seconds with them, and that's fine. This is not a 100% quality assurance situation. We're aiming for averages, right? And so just remember that. Don't get discouraged. And remember, the emotions don't have to be big. They can be subtle. The expression doesn't have to be big. It can be subtle. Either can be authentic. Just take whatever you can get. And the goal is that you're ready when they present that to you. And what they will give you depends on their comfort level tremendously and how much you connect with them. Okay, a couple of just technical things to think about is the type of lens you're using. If you're using a small setup, which is very unintimidating, that's going to be very helpful. You know, there's probably a dynamic shift that happens even when you shoot with a phone. But if you just have like a 35, 50, 85 millimeter prime situation, that could be really helpful for creating an unintimidating experience where it doesn't feel like we're doing like a pro shoot or you have a big white lens. Also, if you have too long of a focal length, you might be too far away from them, and that might break up that dynamic a little bit. So that's something that can be helpful as well. But those are a couple of tips about how to capture authentic expressions from people. I hope you found it helpful. If you'd like to learn more about street photography, I have other videos on this channel. And also I have a Skillshare class where I go into a comprehensive deep dive over 2 hours about street photography and all of its various facets, including street portraits. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any thoughts, please feel free to share them below. Any tips, share them below. If you want to hit the like button, I would appreciate that. If you want to hit the subscribe button, I would totally appreciate that as well. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Goodbye.